Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 10 Soviet destroyer, Khabarovsk. He has 22,500 health, a top speed of 43 knots, 8 130mm guns, 10 torpedoes, a surface detect of 9.7 kilometers, and 57 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, improved main battery rate of fire, reduced the chance of flooded fire, improved acceleration, improved steering module. For my commander, preventative maintenance, adrenaline rush, last stand, basic firing training, demolition expert, inertia fuse high explosive, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Two Brothers, and work in progress, stats not final. This is unreleased content. I am testing it. The ship does not identify as a Khabarovsk Notser. Are you confusing it with something? Well, no. Whenever a ship is unreleased and it's going to have the same name as a current ship, they don't want to confuse people. So it is identified as the Nakhukak, whatever. It's going to be the Khabarovsk. The only change that's going to come to the ship is that you have the potential to put Repair Party 2 on it, or Repair Party 1 if you use a non-premium, but I would use a premium on a Tier 10. You have to decide to drop smoke. That is a sacrifice, absolutely, but this is basically a light cruiser, and it operates at max range anyway. It's nice to be able to heal yourself, and I'm going to show you a game while I was in the ship, and it's a very interesting game as well. So, we are in the Khabarovsk, we are on the eastern flank, and I have Repair Party. I am trying to do damage to the enemy, but notice that there is one or two, right? Just a couple. They seem to have decided to go this flank, and my team has decided not to go this flank. So I'm going to try and stay as far back as I possibly can to engage the enemy and avoid taking damage. Normal stuff that you would do in the Khabarovsk. The enemy is trying to set up on the island. Seems like a lot of them have been playing ranked, apparently. So they're camping around the island, and I am just trying to get a fire. There we go. First fire of the day on the enemy Izimo. And is he going to put it out? Is he a one fire kind of guy? It looks like he's going to allow it to burn. No, he put it out. How do I know? The damage counter on the top right. It would be continuously going up every 1 second or 2 seconds if the dot still existed. It does not. So we can confirm he has used his damage control. But we can also confirm that there is a buttload of ships on the southern side of D point, whereas my team is not pushing forward at the A point, and they're probably going to outnumber whatever enemy force is over at A. I was a little annoyed, perturbed, you might say, and I was like, what is going on? On stream, obviously. But the bigger deal is that nobody is on my flank, at least nobody anymore. We lost from the destroyer, and I have to slow down the enemy. I can't allow them to push freely. There is an aircraft carrier right on the eastern side for whatever reason. I don't know why he's there. And there's a battleship behind me, a pink one. So you have to operate at a pretty extended range. And at this particular point, I was terrified that this torpedo boat would try to torpedo me. So I'm sailing in such a manner that I'm going directly at him, and obviously I'm keeping him in my point of view so I can see exactly what he's going for. And he's going for the Amagi. Instead of going after me, he decides to fly right past me and go for the Amagi. Okay. And here's the use of the heal, which is great on the Khabarovsk. It feels great. The heal ability is only available to the Tier 9 and the Tier 10. Well, theoretically, it will be available to only the Tier 9 and the Tier 10 whenever this Soviet destroyer patch comes out. But it feels pretty good. I was probably 50%, 60%, and it got me back up to 75, 80%. I can still comfortably operate at my max range, cause fires on the enemies who are advancing, and slow them down. Now, there's not really a good opportunity to send torpedoes. I have to operate so far in advance of the enemy, and there's aircraft, but I should still have made an effort. I will absolutely admit that the lack of torpedo usage is a problem. Who knows? Maybe they cover the 2+ kilometers to get to the torpedoes, and I can get 1 or 2 strikes on them. But I was so keenly aware that there were so many enemies on this flank. The enemy Minotaur, I don't want to deal with him. I gotta stay very, very, very far away from the enemy. I just have to. Most of you know what I'm talking about when you feel like, oh man, I'm on the flank of the enemy, the primary flank of the enemy. I can't avoid taking damage unless I move as far away as I can, or use my smoke, or use islands to block. I don't really have smoke or islands to block. All I have is my speed and distance. And it's a pretty fast ship. I mean, it's the fastest ship in the fleet. It really books it. So I can pretty much safely maintain maximum effective range on cruisers and battleships. Every once in a while, you're going to see a destroyer get close, but he's not quite as close as I want. 12 it's a hard shot. It's worth taking, right? He's the only thing I can engage, but it's not really a reasonable expectation that I would do damage to him. And we don't. So I'm still trying to slow the enemy team down. Every chance I see a possible battleship that I had previously set on fire, I'm going to fire at them again. It's always important to pick on them. It's not fair, right? Life's not fair, especially for a battleship, when there's HE being flung at them. But it's the best strategy for me in this situation. And it looks like he's either stopped, come in contact with the island, or he's backing up. I'm losing contact with him, so I'm going to try and engage his Fletcher, and of course he drops off right as I change targets to him. Friendly Amagi is still alive somehow, I don't know how, and he's getting the idea. Yeah, maybe I should move back. Yeah, maybe you should. Just a tip. Free of charge. Enemy Shimakaze is, for whatever reason, showing himself at 5.9 kilometer ranges to my Khabarovsk. Yeah, he's gonna melt. I'm gonna absolutely obliterate him. And I'm also keenly aware of that torpedo bomber. Want to keep that either stern or bow of my target to allow me to dodge it. The enemy is still taking a lot of fire from me, plus my friendlies, and he pops his smoke. So I try and lead him barely, because I know he's going to drop his speed. But now we can't see him. We can't see him. And then all of a sudden we see him. That is because there is a friendly Des Moines that is within his 9 kilometer range for radar usage, and he has detected this guy, allowed us to kill it. And this torpedo, this solo torpedo, would it be terrible to die to a single torpedo, stray torpedo? But the Des Moines helps us kill that target. He also helps us kill the Fletcher, or target the Fletcher. I don't know if I'm going to kill him yet. Friendly aircraft spot out the Shimakaze torpedoes, and I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to try and speed past. Speed, the guns, it's all a very effective package. Plus the heal. The heal is great. It really is something that goes so well with this playstyle. Smoke is great too. Maybe I could have smoked for the Amagi, but then the enemy potentially would overrun his position, and he would still have died. There just wasn't anyone on this flank to justify his existence in the manner that he played it out. And he died from that, unfortunately. I can't really do more than I'm already doing. I'm trying to stall them as much as possible. Killing off the destroyer fleet is important to do just that. The Shimakaze just overextended, and the Fletcher, he's hidden. This enemy the Grossa that we were picking on before, set fires on the target. If he uses damage control, go to another target, come back in 20 seconds, and then try and relight those fires. And that's exactly what we're doing here. The Donskoy is pushing into the Des Moines. The Des Moines is using the island to block off most of the enemies, and I should have pretty good support ships here. I'm still operating at max range. I'm still not getting anywhere close to taking damage from this target. I could have easily sent probably a torpedo or two while doing this, but I just don't want to get too close to the target. We assist the Des Moines as he kills the target, and we're doing pretty good damage. The enemy Mogami is probably more annoyed by my existence than anything else in this game. Remember, I have been in front of this flank for the entire game. I have been the harasser, the annoyer, and they can't take me out. The Mogami is taking massive AP damage from the Des Moines, and he dies to him. He straight up dies to him. Even though the Des Moines is much closer to him, he wanted to kill me or do damage to me. He just couldn't. I think that was a prime example of a target so annoyed that he played it incorrectly. He ignored the danger. Speaking of danger, the Fletcher's moving into an effective range, and I think he's well ready to go. To the bottom of the sea, of course. I miss with the first salvo, I elevate the gun, but oh, the island's going to be in the way, and I don't think I killed him. Just as I look at the North Carolina, oh, he's going to fire at us. So drop the speed, turn into it to scrub off more speed. He's going to overshoot the target. It's very easy to do this, and I can't pass up this kill. Take out the Fletcher, probably a kill secure, but it's good that he's dead. And I think that North Carolina only fired his front two guns. And oh, yep, he only fired his front two guns. So I'm going to keep changing the speed. Ooh, very close, but keep changing the speed. It is very hard to hit the ship. It is so fast, and it can go from 45 knots down to 15 like nothing. So little time passes between 45 knots to 15 that if you play with the accelerator, the top speed going to drop it all the way down to nothing, plus turning left to right is going to scrub off more speed. It's very hard to hit this ship when you're operating at these ranges. And they know it. They know it. They're just that frustrated. And we might be getting a little too close. And oh, yes, Degros is like, So I hard to starboard, drop the speed again. Luckily, he overshoots and it disperses around. We set the target on fire, I believe. And oh, we're within secondary range, Notser. That's a mistake. It might cost you, so I'm going to turn away while he's rearming. We did set the Degrosa on fire. I want to set the North Carolina on fire. And then I'll come back to the Degrosa once we set the North Carolina on fire. And we've set the North Carolina on fire. It's going to force out damage control if he has it. And then we're going to relight the fire on the Degrosa. I could switch to AP, but I need to try and operate against both of these targets. Plus I have a Des Moines right there, and he's doing a great job. And we relight the fire on the Degrosa. He cannot put this out. Either I'm going to get the last shot, or the Des Moines. The Des Moines takes him out. Great. The North Carolina is still on fire, and we switch right to him. It's been great. This flank has worked out so well, and the ability to have heal is awesome as well. I feel so confident, even taking a little bit of damage. We got the last damaging ability on it, the fire ticked out. Playing this, I feel so confident having the repair party. It feels great. Yes, I'm giving up smoke, but what I'm doing is I'm taking attention away from my teammates. And initially we tried AP. It doesn't look like it's going to do the damage I want to do, so I switched to HE, and I think we're definitely going to be doing a lot of damage against this target with Inertia Fuse High Explosive. I don't know why he moved this flank. Maybe he felt like, oh, they're going to dominate it. But he's run himself right into a Soviet destroyer, and I'm going to kill him so fast. 4,000 per salvo, plus set the target on fire, and friendlies can indeed engage him. And I'm just trying to dodge the aircraft. Notice, all my AA defense is gone. That's what that little icon underneath the rudder/reload, that's telling me that all your AA modules are destroyed completely. But the Essex, he tries. He doesn't do enough to kill us, so it's an easy kill on the target. And I'm just hoping that I can get this kill and no one else can touch him. Get your grubby hands off of him. He's mine. And we take out the Essex. The game is about to tick over. It does. And that was a preview of the potential build that you could run in the Khabarovsk whenever they introduced the new Soviet destroyer line. We got 4 kills, 12 fires, 153,000 points of damage done, and I felt very safe with the repair party. I still had, one more charge? And we were very healthy. It definitely helps the destroyers. Because people overpin, or they use HE, there's a lot of damage that can be repaired. And that's great for the repair party. It works out so well on this particular Soviet destroyer. We did 4 kills, 2,293 base XP. The Des Moines did a little bit better. We both helped each other on that flank. We killed 7 targets. That's pretty good. He did 2,393, and of course I'm going to compliment him. Definitely a good player, and he helped me maintain control of that flank. All of my damage was HE. I should have just stuck with it the entire time. Look at how much damage was fired at us, though. 2,300,000. And we were just so healthy. The flank was so easy, it felt like. I hope this was fun, interesting to see. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.